Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing my July TBR and I'm bringing back a game. I'm bringing back a game this month. It's been a while since I did a game. I kept putting it off. I kept being like, no, I'm just going to do like a pile of possibilities. No, I'm not going to do a TBR game. But no, we're doing a TBR game this month. We're doing a game. It's not going to be quite as brutal as TBR Star Hop because I am controlling the number of rolls I'm doing, or the number of rounds I'm doing. So the game that we're going to be doing, the game that we will be braving this month is higher or lower. So I've got a nice fresh pack of cards here. So this game I believe was originally done by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, and he's not doing it anymore, but he definitely was doing it last year, and this is where the inspiration is coming from. I mean, I think higher or lower is quite a common like concept, but if you aren't aware of what it is, I'm going to put two books on one side, on the different sides of the bookshelf. There's going to be the book that I'm going to earn if I can get to it with 5 cards, and that's the book that I want to read. And then I have the book that I'm not so interested in reading right now on this side, and if I am unable to get to the one I want to read, I will have to read the not so interested in one, because it's me and I do want to read all the books I have on my shelves anyway. It's not like I've got books here that I'm not excited about. I'm not putting on books that I have no interest in. It's not gonna, there really are not, there shouldn't be a bad book here because I am excited to read all these books. It's just some of them I really want to read next month and some of them I don't necessarily want to read next month, but I don't think I'd be sad if they got picked. So I've got sort of like different prompts. I'm going to do 5 rounds and I've got sort of different prompts for each round to try and make it a little bit more interesting, and I think we should just dive right in and see what I'm going to end up reading. It's all chance. Right, what's the best shelf to use? I think we're going to bring you slightly over and in, but you're now into the pile of books, so that adds a little layer of complexity. Shows how unprofessional I am. Gavin might do this with like 2 cameras and it's super professional, and I'm like, no. There we go. So now you can see me, and which shelf should we do it on? Let's lower you a little bit and we'll go for the lower shelf. I feel like I've just made a pickle out of this whole thing. There we go. Oh yes, I can put my head in. Now we are set up. Okay, we'll just, don't know if I can artfully shuffle the cards without my hands getting in the way, but that doesn't seem to be a skill I have mastered this way. You can see how badly I shuffle cards now. It's not a skill set I mastered. My mum's really good at it. She can do like fancy little tricks with them to get them to shuffle, but not me. So, 1, 2, 5. Let's see if we can get all the way to there. Okay, where should we start? What book should we start with? Well, the first prompt that I thought of was oldest book on my TBR to newest book on my TBR. So the oldest book I have is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I don't really have much to say. It's my final Jane Austen book that I have not read yet, so this would finally tick off the last Jane Austen book. So it's not like I'm not interested in reading this, it's just hasn't happened yet. And then my newest book is from Going to the Book, I should put my face in here, is from Going to the Book Warehouse with Sophia, and I picked up a few books there, but the one I picked for this, because I picked up 5 all at the same time, was Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert, the second book in the Brown Sisters trilogy. So I just figured they're similar lengths, and it's a standalone, so a good one to pick. Right, so this is the one that I'm going to try and earn, and this will be the one that I get if I don't succeed in going higher or lower. Okay, so what's my starting card? 5, and I figured I'm not really going to have any extra rules. I'm just going to go through if I win or lose just based on what these cards give me. No swapping in or out, no other cheats or anything, just I win or I lose, and we'll see if I do well or not. So a 5, I mean, oh, and the other thing is an ace is going to be either high or at the top. It's either it can be both. It can be either or both, either one or above a king. So it's a win either way with that one. So 5, I think I'm gonna go higher because statistically it should be higher. Oh no. I'm losing on my first game right at the beginning. Oh dear. Okay. So long, farewell. Take a hint, Danny Brown. You are not being picked. Looks like we're going for Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I guess I always want to read a classic every year, so this is definitely going to get me my classic. And there we go, forced upon me, Mansfield Park. I will listen to the audiobook for this, and hopefully I will have a good time with it. I've just realised I should have like a failed books pile and a like winning book pile, and then I can like compare them once we've done all the roles. The next one, I was going to do like a longest versus shortest book, but actually it's the longest book that I really want to read, not the shortest one. So I don't really know what way around I should be putting this, because I really want to read the long book, but also the long book's sort of the punishment because of how long it is, compared to like the short book, which isn't really that much of a punishment because of how short it is. But okay, I guess because I really want to read the long book, I'm gonna have to put it at the end. Right, move those away, the failed cards. So in our short book, we have All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Oh, so the first book in the Murderbot series by her. Obviously I haven't read any of it. I haven't read any Martha Wells before. And I've been hesitant to start this because it's the start of an unfinished series, but I probably could start it and be reading it for quite a while because there are quite a few books that have been published in this series. So Murderbot. And it's the shortest book that I own, so it had to be picked for this prompt. And then the longest book is Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. And I really do want to read this next month. I really do, because I wanted to read it in June and I didn't quite get to it. So July, it has to be Oathbringer's time. So I really want to read it, but it is the longest book on my TBR. So it's also a bit of a challenge. Right. So here we go. Can I earn Oathbringer, or am I going to be reading All Systems Red? I mean, I feel like even if I get All Systems Red, I could probably still read Oathbringer, because All Systems Red's not going to take me that long. Oh dear, my spacing is not right on these ones. Okay. Right. Take two. Oh. Yeah, again, starting with like a middle number. Why? Why couldn't it be like a nice number to start off with? Why couldn't it be like a king? And then I know that it has to be lower. Okay, I'm gonna go higher again. Okay, it's king. I was worried I was gonna fall into a pattern of losing on that first one. Okay, I'm gonna go lower because it has to be lower. A 3, okay, right. If it's a 2, that's just going to be so unlucky. That would be so unlucky. So I'm saying higher. I'm saying higher. What did I just say? How? How? Yes, I'm reading All Systems Red. Maybe I'll still get to Oathbringer, but Oathbringer has not been won. I'm reading the shortest book on my TBR, which I didn't want to read right now, but that is what the cards have told me. So far I'm losing because I've lost both of them. Okay, so the next prompts were going to be like sequel versus start of a series. So again, it's not really like a win-lose, because I'm still going to want to start these series. It's just I really do want to be finishing off the series that I am already in the process of reading, and I don't really want to be starting too many series, because currently I just feel like I'm continuing series. I'm doing really well at continuing, but I'm not finishing things. And I haven't really been starting things either, so I've just been doing all the work without any of the satisfaction. So the starting a series is sort of like a lose for me, because I do want to be finishing series. So for my lose, I have, which is also still a book that I really want to read, I have For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. which is the first book in the Wilderwood duology, and the second book has just come out. So I figure even if I do get this, it shouldn't take me that long to read, and then I can easily read the sequel pretty quickly. But I'm really interested in reading this one. And then my sequel, I don't have the book that I would be putting in its place, so we're going to imagine it with the Grace of Kings. The sequel would be Speaking Bones by Ken Liu, the fourth book in the Dandelion Dynasty, which is again a very, very chunky book, but I've seen as Oathbringer has already gone and failed, and maybe hopefully this chunky book will get on here. I'm currently reading The Veiled Throne, so it would make sense for me to put the fourth book on this series, on this TBR, especially as I do want to read them not quite back to back, but relatively soon after each other, as they're originally meant to be one collective book. So, please let me earn the Speaking Bones. I do want to read this one, but I want Speaking Bones. Okay. What? Again, starting with a 5. Higher. Higher. Well, I said these could be both. So, yes, okay, we're good. Right, I'm going to go lower because we've imagined that this one's a higher number. So, lower. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to go higher, but I mean, last time I said it when it was a 3 and I was like, what are the chances it's going to be a 2? And then it was a 2, but we're going to go higher. It's king, and I'm going to go lower. Oh, close. Which means I have earned the Speaking Bones. So Speaking Bones, imagine it here, is I finally won a book. I've won one. I've won one. Okay. I'm sorry for the wolf. You're just gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait your turn, because Speaking Bones won. And my next sort of prompt is standalones. So just 2 standalones, one that I'm more interested in reading than the other. So the one that I am not so interested in reading right now is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Marina Garcia. This I have owned for quite a while and I have not read it yet, so it is sort of a TBR veteran because it has been a while and I really should have read it by now. So I figure it has a chance now. It has a chance to be read if I put it on this options board. And then the one that I want to read, because I literally just reread the blurb of this and I was like, this sounds really fun and interesting and I want to read it, and that is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. And I read American Gods by Gaiman last year, but prior to that it'd been a few years since I'd read any Gaiman, so I thought, and this is one that I haven't read before, like I've read more of his children's works. That's a lie. I've read Coraline and Stardust and The Ocean at the End of the Lane and American Gods, which I read last year, and now I do want to read this one. So, and I've heard rave reviews for Neverwhere, like absolute rave reviews for it. And just reading the blurb got me excited for it, so I want to read it. Okay, let's see if I can earn it or if I'm going for Mexican Gothic, which would still be good because it has been on my TBR for ages. Okay, a 3. Right, I'm gonna go higher because please not be a 2. Don't be a 2. I think I'm jinxing it. Am I jinxing this? Am I like manifesting the cards to when I say don't be a 2 and it's gonna be a 2? What are the chances of twice it giving me a 2 after a 3? Because these are shuffled. Like, what are the chances? What are the chances of this? I guess I'm not earning Neverwhere. I'm not doing very well with this. I've only won 1 game. Okay, guess I'm reading Mexican Gothic. Guess that's happening. And then the final one, I've once again done series versus continuation. Once again, it's a series that I definitely do want to start, but also there's a series that I really do want to finish, and I would rather finish off this series than start a new one. So the one that I am going to put as my lose, and the one that I do want to read, but do I want to read it right now, is A Memory Called Empire by Arcadia Martin. This is a sci-fi. I think there's like a murder mystery as well involved in it, and I believe it's quite political, maybe a little bit dense. It is the first book in a sci-fi duology, and it is in one of my like 10 series to start in 2022, so it would be good to get to it. But I also really want to finish the Founders Trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the first book, Founders Trilogy, and Lachlan's hasn't quite come out yet as of filming this, but Lachlan's is the third and final book in this trilogy, and I really want to read it. I really want to read it so I can know how this trilogy ends and what's going to happen to all our characters after the explosive ending of book 2. So I want to win Lachlan's. I do. Sorry, Memory Called Empire, but I don't want to read you right now. I want to read Lachlan's. Fine. Okay, well, as I said, Ace could be either the top or the bottom, so I'm gonna go with higher because I'm gonna start that way. Okay, higher. It's 10. I'm gonna go lower, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous for this one. Lower. No. I don't approve. No. But I want to read Lachlan's. Okay. Memory Called Empire it is. This has been brutal. I don't think I like this game. I thought it would be more fun than this. I only won 1. I'm throwing his cards on the floor now in a huff. So there I did. There I did it. I did it. I played higher or lower, and this game doesn't like me. It doesn't like me. I mean, luckily I didn't pick books that I didn't want to read, that I picked books I was really interested in reading, but I only won 1. I only won 1. Why does this game not like me? Why is it that whenever I play games, they don't like me? It's just not fair. It's not fair. Okay, so this is the pile that I lost. The part that I won't be reading, that I actually mostly wanted to read and I didn't achieve it. So I wanted to read Oathbringer and I didn't get it. This was the stand-in for Lachlan's and I didn't get it. This was my newest release, so take a hint, Danny Brown. This is For the Wolf, which I was in my lose pile, but I wanted to read it. I Neverwhere was my standalone that I wanted to read. So this pile are the ones that I failed to get, and I'm most bitter about Oathbringer and Lachlan's. Yeah, they're the ones I'm okay with, but I wanted Oathbringer and Lachlan's. I mean, this is the pile that I won, and it looks significantly smaller, so there is that. This is the pile that I did end up winning, mostly losing for. I only won 1. So Mexican Gothic for my standalone, at least I'm not too bitter about that one. All Systems Red for my longest, shortest book, and the shortest book won, which was this one. So a sci-fi, I've got a sci-fi here, got 2 sci-fis. The Grace of Kings, which is my stand-in for Speaking Bones, which I'm really happy about. I'm very happy about getting Speaking Bones, so that's something. A Memory Called Empire, which is a start of a series, which when I wanted, I really wanted Lachlan's. And then Mansfield Park, which was for oldest book on my TBR. So at least I am getting that off. At least I am working my way through some classics and getting my oldest books on my TBR off. So there is a TBR for July. Not quite the books that I imagined were going to be on it, and not quite the books that I exactly wanted to be on it, but because I'm competitive, I will work on this. And at least it doesn't look too big. It's not too long, so I feel like it's achievable. But I do really want to read Lachlan's and Oathbringer. So if you put those 2 books on here, then it would look a lot bigger with the imaginary Foundry side as Lachlan's. Oh no, I've just gone and thrown Mansfield Park. It jumped out of my hands. It wants to escape from this TBR, it seems. So that would be, I guess, the stack if we were imagining Foundry side and if we're imagining Oathbringer and Lachlan's being on it as well, because despite losing, I'm still going to want to read them. To the point of not making the official TBR, I want to read them. So there we go. Maybe I will never play this game again. because it didn't play ball. Maybe I need to, like, I can see why Gavin had some rules in where he had like some things where he could slightly cheat a little bit and change out a card if he loses it. So maybe I should have implemented those rules. I just thought, let's just play the game, let's just see how it goes. But anyway, have you ever done higher or lower to pick your books on your TBR? How was it for you? Was it nicer? Maybe I'm going to need another break again after a TBR game because I just kept losing. I just kept losing. This game it wasn't fair though. Like, giving me a 2 after a 3 twice. I'm gonna be in a huff now. Cross my arms in a huff. But anyway, let me know if you've read any of these books that are on my official TBR, and if you think that I will enjoy them, your opinions on them. I do have, well, only 2 starts of series. I have 2 starts of series on there. So if you have any thoughts on those, and I'd say out of this, the one that I'm most excited for is Speaking Bones. The longest book, but I am the most excited for it. So there we go. That is my July TBR. What book are you most excited to read in July? And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!